Welcome to Lifestyles of the Strange and Exotic Random Movie Review. Now, having been drooling over, the movies and the clips of Final Fantasy 15, I'm like, I have Advent Children, especially now that, is it 5, 6, 7? Is it 7 or 8? It's V11, so I think it's 7. Final Fantasy 7, they're remaking the original game. So I'm like, I want to see if I can find this DVD. And it is Advent Children. I have not watched this in I don't think I've watched it since I've been here, and this has been 6 years now. So a very long time have I not watched this. So I'm like, for the hell of it, having seen some of the clips of the new remake, I don't know if they're I don't know how you'd want to describe it. If they're remaking it, but the clip they showed was an exact copy of a scene from the actual original game. And I'm like, the Cloud looks like what I remember him being from Advent Children. So I'm like, for the hell of it, I'm going to pop it in. And it does, there's two ways you can do it. There's a little mini movie that literally gives you a synopsis using the original game, telling you, okay, well, this is what happened in the original game, leading into the movie, which happens 2 years after the game. And then in the beginning of the movie, it's beautifully done. Kind of gives you another synopsis of kind of how things fit in and, the general story, not necessarily how Cloud and Tifa and everybody kind of fit in. It does have a strong Save the Earth vibe, which I think the original game did too. And even though this came out in 2005, so it was 10 years ago? It still looks amazing. There's very little change, I think, in the animation style. If you compare FF15 to this, there's only a slight difference, maybe? I mean, it's still beautiful to look at. Which is why when I picked it up and I'm like, it's just stunning to look at. And it definitely has held up since I first watched it. Referring to writing thingies on paper. The thing that I kind of forgot too, I liked it with the subtitles. I like watching it with the subtitles, so you do not have to. It does come in the Japanese, so you can, read the American subtitles while they're speaking in Japanese, and you can have English subtitles when they're speaking English, which is what I've done. Tiny little problem! Apparently, the voice actors had a different script compared to the people who did the subtitles, because they're two very different things. So if you're reading and listening, you're like, what the hell? So, don't bother with the subtitles, you don't have to, but if you're watching the subtitles, you'd be like, well, that's not what she said. What the? So, and it's quite prevalent throughout the movie, too, so. It's like, why? You got it recorded, just write down what the hell I said. Strange, but that's a thing. The first, actual battle sequence was... The action in this game is freaking awesome. In this game. In this movie, is flippin' awesome. In the first battle, at the end of the battle, there's this, really cool ringtone, and you'll have to watch it to know, so it's kind of it's just perfectly timed. It's just a beautiful moment. If you like Final Fantasy 15, you'll know. Not 15, but Final Fantasy in general. And even in 15, they sort of refer to that same little thing. The voice acting is decent. I mean, they've got the characters pretty well, there's no stretch of who's who, it's like, okay, that fits. I'm sure I'm going to slaughter the name, but Umatsu, the musician, the dude that does the music, you can't have Final Fantasy without this dude. And he does the music for this too, so it's like... I mean, seriously. That's probably the main reason why Sephiroth is as awesome as he is. He doesn't have to do diddly shit. Just stand there with his katana, have that song playing. If you're facing him, you're like, fuck it, game over. You won by default. So it's like, yeah. One-winged angel, Sephiroth, sword. Awesome. Uh, and the movie does kind of date itself with the dumb phones, so because there's there's even a scene where Cloud kind of loses his phone, and it's the old style flip phone, and you're kind of like, but then you think like, oh yeah, well 15 has those smartphones now. It's like, in 5 years that's gonna be, it's like, okay, technology. What can you say? Amazing chase scene. Those are pretty damn badass motorcycles too. I mean, it's just paced so well. It's a great action movie, even if you've never seen or heard or played any Final Fantasy. Even on its own, it's an awesome story, and it's an awesome action movie. I mean, it's really well done. There's even some halfway decent humor, even in some. I don't know if it's quite unintentional is quite the word I'm looking for, but there's enough humor there without it being silly. It just it's well done. And Sephiroth's entrance. I mean, again, the man just needs to stand there, and he's like suddenly awesome on the screen. It's like no warning. It's like, I'm here, bow to me. So he is pretty much one of the coolest villains in Final Fantasy. Yeah, I mean, if the remake is nearly as good as this, yeah. And I covet a plushy Moogle. There's even a plush Moogle in here. You get like 3 scenes of a kid holding a Moogle, and I'm like, I want a plushy Moogle. I want to squeeze a little face in it. It's like, I like the Moogles over the Chocobos. I mean, the Chocobos, I just see giant chicken nuggets. I mean, it's just like, I want a Moogle. So, yeah, if you can dig this up, I think you can probably stream it on like YouTube Red or whatever dumbass thing they got here. But this came out in, what did I say? 2005 apparently. You get your feature film, and then they call it reminiscence of Final Fantasy VII, which is the recap. Disc 2 has The Distance, making of featurette, Advent Children Venice Film Festival footage, sneak peek of the upcoming Final Fantasy VII games. Would those be DLC? Was there DLC at that point? Did they have downloadable content, that type of thing? No. Oh, how was that? If you had, it was just bonus discs at that point, right? There's no such thing as downloadable. I don't know. That was the age of dial-up, wasn't it? Let's see. Trailers and some deleted scenes. So, continuing the storyline based on the hit PlayStation game, apparently the original PlayStation, Final Fantasy, and I'm pretty sure this is 7 because I'm not fluent in Roman numerals. Shut up. 2 years have passed, and the ruins of Midgar stand as a testament to the sacrifices made in order to bring peace. However, the world will soon face a new menace. A mysterious illness is spreading fast. Old enemies are astir, and Cloud, who walked away from the life of a hero to live in solitude, must step forward yet again. And there's a couple of cameos that were pretty awesome. So, definitely worth a pickup, especially if you're a Final Fantasy fan. So, yes. And it holds up still, even today. And every time I see the Buster Sword, it's like, come on, wouldn't that just break off? I mean, you got this stick holding on to, like, this giant thing. It's like, I just kept waiting for it to snap. I don't know. It's just the way my brain works. Anywho, thank you for watching. Do remember to comment, rate, share, and subscribe. There's always room for more at the Strange and Exotic. See you next time. Bye.